It's such an honor to connect with someone who's been doing holy work on the bandstand and in the studio for really the last 60 years or so of his life. Played free jazz for a long time and then had to get back to playing straight beats with, R&B and more commercial acts. And he's kind of always just kept his heart on his sleeve, led with his heart, and we're grateful he's still here with us. James Gadson, welcome back to the Jake Feinberg Show.
Well, thank you for having me, Jake. Thank you.
It's an honor.
My pleasure.
Yeah, Gad, it's so funny. I literally, I was just going through YouTube looking for clips of you, and I stumbled across this demonstration by a cat named Yogi Horton. You know that cat?
I never got to meet him, man. I know his work. His work was fantastic.
Fantastic. And he's talking about this, what he called this Louisiana rag shuffle. Not the ragtime that we all think of, more traditional jazz way, but the way cats would be popping the rags, shining shoes in Louisiana. So you'd walk into a session, and if the producer said, play that Louisiana rag shuffle, everybody would know exactly what he meant. I mean, did you know that? Did you come across that term?
No, I didn't. That's one on me. That's one on me.
Yeah, Louisiana rag shuffle. I'll send it to you. You're gonna dig. I mean, were there when you were getting in the studios? I mean, we're talking to a cat with 500. Who's his name? Well, he helped create 500 gold records, which is insane. Maybe more. Were there certain types of jargon based on shuffle, I mean, I never heard of the Louisiana shuffle rag. Or the Louisiana rag.
I mean, when I would play live, most of the time, I mean, a lot of, there would be preferred cadences and rhythms that they would want you to play. But live, when I played with a lot of the blues guys, that they would, flat, man said, play the flat tire. The flat tire. I said, okay.
The flat tire, dude.
I didn't know what it was.
Wait a minute. What? First of all, it was like Lowell Folsom. Who were some of these cats that were asking you to play the flat tire?
This was damn, I can't think of his name. Boy, it's damn shame.
It'll come back.
Slim though. Slim. Lynn was Slim. Yeah, that's what it was. Lynn was Slim. I should have missed him, too.
Well, I'm sorry, what was his full name?
Linwood Slim.
Linwood Slim.
Yeah, Linwood Slim. Lynwood.
Oh, Linwood. My God. Wait, so, I mean, was this back in Kansas City, or was this back in...
this was out here in Los Angeles.
So explain that. I mean, what was the flat tire? What did that mean, dude?
That was one of the shuffles that it's between boogie woogie.
Yep.
And just a boogie woogie and I guess it's kind of remind me of boogie woogie in a way of speaking.
Right.
And I was very young. I was a little boy when they were playing boogie woogie. But I heard it, and I played a lot of blues in Kansas City too, besides the jazz. And I played quite a lot of blues out here. Blues is a great. Everybody should be able. Especially drummers should be able to play blues, because it's the key to so many other venues of rhythms. They really should be able to do that.
I mean, do you feel like, because I mean, listen, back in the day, Mighty Joe Young, I'm looking at these Junior Wells videos with Buddy Guy, who's still with us. I mean, these cats were going back. You know, you had Chicago blues, but I mean,
well, they played a lot of traditional type blues.
right. I'm saying, how far back do cats need to go in the blues? I mean, you're talking field hollers, or I mean, because I feel like a lot of cats today, they think they're playing the blues, but they maybe don't go. Yeah, they don't go far enough back.
Yeah, a lot of cats, they don't know what it is. That's what I was saying. They should get into it because it's very interesting. It leads to a lot of things, especially the traditional blues. I mean, man, it had a lot to do with free jazz in a way of speaking.
How's that?
Well, a lot of traditional blues was kind of free.
Right. In terms of tunings and things like that too, where
well, in terms of the songs, I mean, the songs were. It was almost, how would I say that? Portrayed. They were portrayed, in other words.
Right.
It wasn't like, it might not be a set, how would I say it? A set of, you know, they didn't play it the same way. It was different all the time.
It was different all the time. I remember even.
Yeah, it was different all the time. Like they would make, as they call it, they would make the changes, as they would say, when they felt it.
Exactly, Gad. Exactly. When they felt it, man.
I thought that has a lot to do with.
Oh my God, man.
That has a lot to do with you know, Coltrane even mentioned, you know, he kind of mentioned that, you know, that traditional thing, free jazz.
Did you ever, I know you and David T. Walker, you were hanging out down in that hotel in Atlanta. I forgot the name of that place, Georgia.
The Forest Arms Hotel.
That's it. Did you, and I mean, you were.
We were on the road. We were on the road. You know, we would all be out there on the road.
Right. I'm just.
We'd be so hungry sometimes.
Yeah, you had to jump out the window, right? You had to get out the window. Yeah.
We put the donuts out, and we almost would get into a fight behind those donuts because also we didn't have any money.
You know what I'm curious? I just feel like because when you were with Ballard and those, I mean, he let you play a full set of like Ornette Coleman, Coltrane, you know, Mingus.
Well, he let us do a lot of training for a minute.
Did you ever get to see? Did you ever get to see?
They stopped letting us play it. You know, we would get to play that. That's why I got turned on to train, and everybody was with Hank Ballard, with the musicians there.
Right. Yeah. So I wanted you to talk because this was what you to me this was like seminal part of the beginnings of this free jazz into what you might call fusion funk, where there was no definitive backbeat on the 2 and 4. It was where you felt it. I mean, that was Elvin, right? I mean, that was what Elvin. He was just.
Yeah, well, Elvin was playing. Elvin was beautiful. I mean, he that was oh man, so fantastic.
The best.
It's like he was playing. I just can't. You know how he was portraying. You know, it's that it was that way. You know, he was speaking. He was speaking, and you know, in a way. You know, it was rhythmically, but it was also. We'll say like we take the Indians or the Norsemen or the Africans. You know, when they played their drums and stuff. They played it for certain. You know, it wasn't marching all the time. It might have been the enemies coming or such and such a thing was happening.
Absolutely.
You know, so
yeah.
He was speaking. You know, he was speaking. So he got to speak the way he felt. You know, so that type of situation. I'll say it like that.
I mean, even like you talked about going back and having to adjust to this real straight linear feel with Charles Wright. Let's just play.
Well, yeah, and it's all music. That's all good too. I mean, no disrespect to none of this rhythm. I mean, I'm just saying this is just a different thing.
I dig.
Yeah.
When was your first time in New Orleans, by the way?
My first time in New Orleans was with Hank Ballard.
What was that? Because I mean, were you going to? Did you have to drive to the? I mean, it was a total black band, but I mean, did you have to go to a different side of town, very segregated area, or what was that?
Well, I didn't get to see. I have never really got to see New Orleans. And, even when I was with Bill Withers, we flew in and we flew out.
Right.
I never got to see.
That's a shame.
New Orleans, but I love the music and I love the musicians, man. When I was stationed in Louisiana when I was in the Air Force.
Really?
And this was before I was a drummer. And I would hear those rhythms. I would see 400 and 500 people dancing with just a guitar and a drummer.
Oh my! Wait, where? Like in Houma? What part of Louisiana?
I was in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Whoa!
And we'd be out, in those out country towns outside Alexandria. Damn, I can't think of the name of some of those country towns. And that rhythm, man, would be just, it would be happening.
Is there any way to? I mean, it was just a guitar and drums. I mean,
that's the one. That's what I saw. I didn't, I saw that one time that it really just it took me. I was just amazed at the feel and the eccentric. It was just electrifying. I mean, this is the guitar. It was a guitar and a drummer, and man, you didn't miss nothing. It just what was going on was just. Oh
my God! It was like flowing like. Hold on for a second.
Yeah,
you're telling me
very danceable. I mean, you would be moving. It would make you. You couldn't stay still. Whether you was dancing with somebody or not, you would just be moving.
So wait, you're telling me that you obviously were listening to music prior to that, but you had never.
I wasn't a drummer then.
Right, you had not picked up the sticks yet. I mean, you had not.
I was a dude. Well, I could play. I wasn't the whole time I was in the Air Force. I didn't play any drums or nothing like that. I sang. I was with a group, a vocal group. The doo-wop. This is doing the doo-wop area.
Right.
Period.
Right.
But
what was the What was the instrumentation?
That rhythm was so cold. Huh? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm curious. Like in that doo-wop group, what was the instrumentation? Was it just vocals, or did you have a rhythm section with you?
Well, we didn't have a rhythm section. The bands and the clubs would, they would play behind us. They would do their best. We try to get a little practice in. They do their best. I mean, it was pretty raw.
Yeah.
But, the people enjoyed it. It was pretty raw, but the people enjoyed it. So we got along. With the musicians, we got along. The ones I knew and off the bass.
But going back to it, you actually have never had the opportunity to spend any real quality time in the city of New Orleans.
Never.
Wow. Amazing.
It's a shame. It's really a shame. I mean, because I know so many people, man. The Hurlin Rileys.
Oh my God! A freak of nature.
Yes. And Joe's Mogelise, Zigaboo.
Well, I was going to say, I have to think that.
All those guys. I mean, I love them, man. This in Leo Nosatelli, the guitarist.
Oh my God! I've interviewed him. Yeah,
George Porter.
Oh my God, dude.
I mean, and then when I came up, I would be, when I was very young, and I would hear the music. By me being from Kansas City, I would hear those songs. Earl Palmer had played on.
Sure.
I found out later on, Come On Baby, Let the Good Times Roll. And This Is My Story, these different people. I loved it, because the feel, it had a feel, the music is, it's very personal. It has a feel great,
I'm curious though, like if because it's what's funny is like you never spent any real time. I mean, Kansas City has its own time feel as well, but New Orleans is very distinctive in its own.
Much different.
Much different, absolutely. But like Dr. John,
they did have a gentleman from New Orleans, Baby
Dodds.
No, it wasn't Baby Dodd. There was another baby.
Well, actually, there was one cat you used to talk to me.
He played with a lady named Julia Lee.
I don't know, Baby. I don't know.
Baby, I can't think of his name right now.
Well, no, the cat that you used. I heard it. I heard certain things of that. During that time, I heard that period of time. I heard that stuff. When did you first cross paths with John Boudreaux?
When I came to Los Angeles.
So that dude was channeling New Orleans through and through. So you definitely.
When I came to New Orleans, John Boudreaux was all around drummer. He was a jazz drummer as well as an R&B drummer. He had played on some R&B records, jazz records. And I was playing with the organ quartet when I came out here.
Right.
And I met John. I was playing with I was playing with the organ quartet. And I met him. And we exchanged numbers, not knowing that that I'd be back here. John was very instrumental in me not going back to Kansas City, because John said, "Man, I'll get you a gig." I was starving to death. John Boudreaux said, "Man, I'll get you a gig." So he got me a gig with Charles Wright, who later was Charles Wright in the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band.
Was that Boudreaux's gig, and then he gave you the gig?
I don't think it was his gig.
Right.
I think it was another Jew from New Orleans who had the gig at one time. But Boudreaux said, "Man, I'll get you a gig," and that's how I. Of course, Charles fired me about 5 times because I couldn't play no funk. I could not play. Couldn't play it.
The funk that because that funk is one kind of funk, and then like that Herbie funk that came later with Paul Jackson and Mike Clark. I mean, that's
slick. Or you call that slick funk,
Dude, man, that is my bag right there, man. Like that is where the bass kind of has a lead voice. It can lead the drums a little bit, and there's no definitive backbeat on. It's where on 2 and 4. It's where you feel it. Like that to me is. Right. That to me is what funk is. I realized that word was being used, but like,
they got, they still have. They got R&B. They have R&B beats where it's not on the 2 and 4.
Right.
They have other beats like that too.
Right. Well, some of the grooves you made up, like "I Want You," like with Rainey. I don't think that's. That's
well,
not.
Those things just happen. Those things, the Bill Withers stuff, "Used Me" and
"Kissing My Baby."
What was it? "Kissing My Love." Yeah.
Just "Kiss My Baby."
That really came from jazz. That really came from my jazz. Because it was different than what they were playing. It was a little different than I was playing on 2 and 4, but the way I was playing on 2 and 4,
right?
I was swinging it in a way of speaking.
Exactly. And you were relying less on backbeat and more on swing.
Right. Well, the 16 notes. The 16 notes, the people like that, and then the syncopation.
Oh my God!
Both of the. "Use Me." It has a little more than a backbeat in it, as well as the foot pattern in "Kissing My Love" was syncopated. And so.
Did you actually share? I guess the overarching question is, okay, so you didn't spend any time in New Orleans, but you were tight with Boudreaux. He obviously respected you as a drummer. You knew Zig, Leo.
Well, I respected him. I mean, Boudreaux kept me from starving to death, man. I mean, Boudreaux got me a jazz gig over on the east side of Los Angeles. I mean, it was from 6 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, and it paid $19.
That sounds fantastic.
I mean, hey, Cannonball used to come in there sometimes.
Dude, that is so insane.
Yeah, I mean, it was happening. It was a hell of a. It was, you know, it was going on. You know, it was the jazz thing. So I mean, he kept me from starving. So all praises. That's my. You know.
Absolutely no. I was going to say though, maybe through osmosis or just being maybe the Meters, maybe you saw them or shared a bill with. Did you learn to do your own version of that second line New Orleans sort of?
Well, I had my own version of, you know, I heard it a little different than the way they played it. Right. I mean, say like a Sissy Strut that the Meters played with Zigaboo. I mean, I had to go see him to see how he played that.
Wow, I love this.
I couldn't hear it. I said, man, what, you know, I had to go see how he played that. Because so many people play that song so many different ways, including me. You know, I played it the way I felt it, but I didn't play it like he didn't. I went to see him, and I said, wow, I learned how to play the way he played it. But that was, you know, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that was really before, like you had records, but, you know, you couldn't really, you had to...
No, this was after the fact. This was after the fact I had played on a lot of his records.
Right.
But I didn't know what he was doing.
You had to go see him. Yeah, you had to go check it out yourself.
I said, man, let me go see this. And, you know, we're good friends, and I was so glad to meet him. You know.
Yeah. No, he's ridiculous.
Boy, wow, you know.
They had their own groove, man. It was coming off.
It was so much feeling in that music.
So much feeling. Like it was not about like facility and massive chops. It was just about feeling and getting down.
Well, the way he plays that Sissy Strut, I mean, it's pretty technical now. It ain't no just 1, 2, 3. I mean, he got some stuff going on.
No, it's completely sophisticated. It just doesn't sound. It doesn't sound. That. It's just to the ear. It just sounds so grooving. Yet he's doing something totally authentic, related to that entire Big Easy, that whole vibe. Did you ever play with in the studio with Dr. John?
No, I didn't get a chance to play with Dr. John. Boudreaux had almost introduced me to Dr. John because they were very good friends. Mac Rubenek,
yeah, of course, and Boudreaux, they were tight from back in New Orleans days, yeah.
Right, they would visit each other. In fact, Idris Mohammed they knew each other very well.
Oh my God! Idris grew up with the Neville brothers there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They knew. They all knew each other. So I almost got to meet these people. You know, man. I got to meet Idris later on. I wanted to see him and introduce myself, and I knew Joseph Modelis. That's Zigaboo. You know, I know him. I haven't got to meet her and Riley in person yet, but man, what a fantastic
He's such a humble, beautiful. Yeah, I have not met him in person either. Such a humble cat.
I talked to him on the phone, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean it's going on, man. They got it happening. It's happening.
Did you were you ever going? I mean, you were a little bit. I mean, you were definitely. You were getting hot with the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. Did you go to Shelley's Manhole a lot? Did you get a chance to ever meet Shelley?
Shelley told somebody about me. I never got a chance to meet him, but Shelley told somebody.
No way. You never met him, but he's
on a session That's how I got on the session with John Handy for, what was that song that I played on? Hard Work.
Hard work, man.
Shelly recommended me, man. I never got to shake his hand. Ain't that something? He recommended me. I don't know where he heard me play. I don't know how that
I'm
went.
sure Keltner was probably talking you up, you know?
But I used to go, because I would be so broke, I'd go up to his club. I'd walk up to his club and look in the window and hear him play. I didn't have no money.
Dude, are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious. I would walk all to Hollywood. I didn't live that far. Well, it was, as I think about it, I was young, though, so it didn't bother me. But,
You would say that I just want to be clear, though, because some cats, they're just not good with, I know you were starving to death, when you were walking 87 blocks to try to sit in at, Larry Gale's.
The jazz thing, yeah, when I got out here, yeah.
But were you still like really not economically okay? Even would you say by the late 60s you were able to pay your bills and stuff, or were you still starving?
Oh, by the late 60s I had gotten where I was working. Because in the late 60s I was playing with the Watson.
Sure.
And I was gigging too. I was playing with different people. I played with Leon Haywood, who was a fantastic organist.
Oh my God! I did not know that.
Yeah, Leon Haywood was a fantastic organist. He had a great feel, man.
Was that just a duo, an organ drums duo, or?
No, we had organ, drums, and guitar, and sometimes it was a quartet. Different guitar players, Terry Evans, Bell, Gary Bell, who was also a saxophone player, who played with Fats Domino. He played saxophone with Fats Domino, but he played guitar with Leon Haywood. Mac Ribonac was a guitar player. Dr. John, did you know that?
I've seen pictures of him playing, and I think definitely at Minute Records back in New Orleans when they were doing that early stuff, he was on playing guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, they say he was a guitar player. I think somehow he got his finger shot off or something, and they sewed him back on or something. I forget what. So
you, in the when you were going looking in like a hungry dog inside the window, was like Miles's quartet or like.
Yeah, it would be Miles sometimes. It was whoever was in town.
And you couldn't even get in, man.
Well, I didn't have the money.
Yeah, I know.
But it was, the one thing about it, I did get to hear him, and I would see him through the window,
Well, Michael Shreve did the same thing, dude. I mean, in San Francisco with his dad, he wasn't even allowed, and he'd just watch Elvin from the window,
So, I cherish those days because that starvation made me want to do something. It put to put more fire into me to make me want to get it together. So.
Absolutely. No, I think it's.
I never got to shake Shelly Man's hand, man. And he was the one that recommended me for the John Handy thing.
Wait, so Handy told you got that second hand that Shelly recommended you for the gig?
I forget who told me. Yeah. I can't remember who that was that told me about that.
When you
but I was still doing. On that label. I still got to play. They had 3 or 4 jazz. I got to play with Gloria Lynn. Some different labels. I still got to play a little jazz. But they wanted to funk it up a little bit. When they would call me, they didn't want it like that.
Right. They wanted your style, dude.
Yeah, they wanted something added. But man, I got to play with it was great. It was great.
Did you ever get a chance to play with Maxine Weldon?
No, I didn't.
Because,
her sister, both of them were singers. I never got to play with them. Washington Rucker, my good friend, was a drummer. He played with them a lot.
I'm sorry, who was that? What was his name?
Washington Rucker.
Washington, is he still around?
Yeah.
Washington Rucker, dude. Because she was talking about, she was playing. She played a club.
Across from A&M Studios. It was right across the street from A&M Studios. At that time, it was A&M's recording studios, and now it's I forget the guy that the animation guy. It's his studio now, but yeah, she had a club across the street from there.
Yeah, I think she called it
She was working there. Yeah.
Yeah, the ETC club, maybe. I don't even know.
I don't know the name of it.
What was I gonna say? Did you Gad? Were you? Do you remember sharing who were the cats that you would share? If you were playing a festival with Bill Withers, were you playing with Sly Stone, or would you share bills with some of the other bands that, even the Meters, or bands that you only heard on record, or you loved them, but you had...
Well, with Bill Withers, I didn't get to play any festivals with him.
It was just straight Bill.
We played some gigs. We didn't get, I didn't get to play. I didn't get to play any festivals with him.
Right.
I didn't get to play many festivals. Eddie Harris, when I played with Eddie Harris later on, I got to play some jazz in the late 70s and the 80s. I got to play. I went back and was playing with Eddie Harris. I had gotten how they say it when they.
Oh my God, dude! I was watching this thing. He was scat singing, and you're playing drums. It was ridiculous, dude.
I can't think of the name of. I got. In other words, I got to play with him for about I guess almost a year.
Right.
And we play some outside stuff. I ain't heard it. I heard the funk stuff on YouTube, but I don't know what they did with the outside stuff that we played.
Oh, that's not on YouTube.
No, it's not.
You were playing outside.
It is. I ain't seen it. But we played a lot. We got outside a lot of times.
Were you you're talking about playing with Leon Haywood? Did you ever play with Groove Holmes or anything?
No, I never did get to play with Groove Holmes. I got to see him.
Sure.
Because he came in Kansas City. I got to see him because he was working at the same place that Charles Kennard that was his home base club. So I'd go down there and see. It's called the Blue Room. I got to see Groove Holmes there.
Wow.
Because Charles Kennard, that was like his home base club.
And so, I was going to say, aside from Linwood Slim, I know that was L.A., who were some blues cats in Kansas City that you played with?
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Leon Estelle, Jimmy Griffin. I mean, these are local cat. What's his name? This guy, he had out. I got to play with a couple of the top blues cats. Man, it's a shame.
But it was Bill Doggett or something?
No, I didn't get to play with Bill Doggett. But guitar player, I got to play with a couple of guitar players that was famous.
Mississippi Fred McDowell, maybe?
No, it wasn't. I didn't get to play the traditional thing. It was.
It was organ soul jazz, blues.
No, this was blues. This was no organ. These are blues cats.
Oh my God, dude! This is, and they were famous. I
can't think of that name, but
it's outside my bag, dude. You're going back in the lineage.
I can't think of the name. He was famous. He was famous for hell of a blues guitar player.
Oh my!
2 of them. I got to play with a couple of, I can't think of it.
Okay, I'm gonna read off some
That's
names.
A shame too. But they had both of them. But they had hit records,
Right. Did you ever? I know this. Jabbo Starks talked about Shep Shepherd. Did you ever see Buddy Shep or Buddy Johnson or even Sonny Payne? Did you ever get a chance to see the Basie?
Yeah, I got to see Sonny Payne in Florida.
Wow.
I lived in Miami for about. That's where I met That's where I got hooked up with the Midnighters.
Oh.
I stayed in Miami. I was on the road with my brother's band, and I just stayed when they went back to Kansas City. I stayed down there, and I got to see Sonny Payne. Yeah, I got to see him, man. He was fantastic. I got to see Buddy Johnson had a band. Buddy Johnson's band would play. I got to see him in Kansas City because during that time they would have a big band. Illinois Jacket and all those different people.
Oh yeah,
Illinois Big Brother. They would have these big bands that would come and they would play behind all the doo-wop groups and they play behind all the the doo-wop groups. So that's how I got to see them because they would play. They'd open the show, and then the doo-wop groups would come on. Man, that was great, man. I was about. Oh, man, I was young. I was 10, 11 years old.
You're telling me that a big band would back up doo-wop singers?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is the most electric. That is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, they backed them up, yeah. Yeah, when in Kansas City, yeah. They would be. That's the way they would have a dance. And I'm thinking the dance would be $1.25 or something.
Right. No, this is what Purdy and Chuck Rainey told me. Yeah, it was happening all over
the early 50s, and they'd have a big band there, and they would play behind all the all the artists.
So I just want to get the chronology here. You're in the Air Force in Louisiana, and then
that was before I went in the Air Force.
Of course. So after the Air Force, though, you decided to go to Miami. Or no, you went back to Kansas City. You were in your brother's band, and you.
Yeah, my brother had a band. I didn't know it. That's why I started playing. That's the way I started playing drums.
Wow.
My brother had a band, and the bass player left the group to go with J. Mike Shan, and the drummer was a bass player. He could play bass. He didn't want to play drums anymore. So.
Right, and then you bought that $8 kit from Jimmy Lovelace.
Yeah, I had $7.
Is it fair? Wait, hold on. I want to be clear. Is it fair to say that you picked up the sticks and kind of taught yourself how to play drums? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Wow,
that's fair. I could play street beats as they call it. I played a snare drum with American Legion.
Oh.
Stuff like that. I could do that. I had never played a set of drums.
Right. So your brother was playing kind of just jazz too?
My brother had a working band when I got out of the Air Force.
What was his name?
Thomas Gadson.
Thomas Gadsden. Is he still with us?
Tootie Gadson and the Derbies. He had a band.
Tootie Gadsden and the Derbies.
Yeah.
And so they were going 110 miles an hour down into Florida, and you were hiding under the seat, scared to death?
No, that was with the Midnighters.
This is Dyke and the Blazers too, yeah.
No, I didn't go on the road with Dyke.
So I just want to be clear though. You're on tour with your brother and in Miami. What made you?
What happened was that his mother-in-law knew this promoter, supposedly promoter, and he tricked us. He had us tour in the South, man. It was very dangerous. I think I told you about that, where he had us to be Otis Redding and William Bell, and people would be shooting. They'd be mad. We had to run out of them clubs and stuff behind that. The guy had us booked in these different, man, we go in these clubs, man, and people say, man, where's Otis Redding? Where's William Bell, man?
They were expecting bigger. Wait, they were expecting like some.
We had to get out of there a lot of times,
They were going to shoot you to death. This is unbelievable.
Man, a couple times they got to shooting. They got to shooting up in the area. They was mad, man. I can't. Well, we did get to work with Otis. We did play behind Otis one time.
Well, get out of here.
We played with him one time.
Wow.
My brother's band. We played him one time. But
that is so magical that you played behind Otis Redding, man.
Yeah, one time.
So wait, I'm sorry. The promoter would lie to the people and say Otis is showing up, and then your brother's band would show up, and the people would be pissed off.
Man, it was dangerous. Yeah,
It's madness. That's madness right there.
and you talking about people talking about eating sardines and candy bars and all that. You know, it was
holy cow, man.
It was rough. I mean, you know.
So you were like, dude, I want to stay. Yeah.
I got a book coming out, so it'll be talking about all that.
Damn.
But,
damn,
yeah.
Dude, I am psyched for the book, man. I mean, hold on for a second. So you wanted to stay alive, and you told your brother, hey, listen, I'm staying down in Miami.
Well, what happened was when we got to Miami, everything was happening down there. You know, I mean, it was Count Basie's band, Duke Ellington, Sam and Dave. Everybody was out in Miami.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in Kansas City. You know, and Miami was the mainstay. Although it was very segregated. But in the black community, you know, you had a lot of entertainment, different entertainment. So I got to see all these people. That was exciting to me. They had one club that you could play with if you were black out on the beach, as they call it, wherever it was at. It was called the Peppermint Lounge.
The Peppermint Lounge.
Yeah, you couldn't play at the Eden Rock or the Fountain Blue. You couldn't play in there.
And there was no
during that time, you know.
There was no Playboy Club at that point yet?
Playboy Club, it might have been. I didn't know anything about it, but they had these different clubs in Miami, the black clubs, and I can't remember none of them. Little Willie John and a guy named man, I can't think of his name. They owned the club together.
We're talking
Little Willie John.
The Peppermint Lounge, you mean?
I worked at his club. I was a sub for the drummer when the drummer would get you get a better gig to go out and work out on the beach or something. And I wish I could think of the name of that club. I can't think of it. But somebody showed me. Somebody had a poster of it. This guy's name, I can't think of it. Dizzy Jones or something. I can't think of his name. But he and Little Willie John owned this club.
Right.
He sounded like Little Willie John, and he played organ. But I played there, and that's how I got the gig with the Midnighters. Just come through and say, man, hey man, the Midnighters are looking for a drummer. So that's how I got that gig.
That is unbelievable. So I was going to say, you were kind of just playing anything that was available, and somehow.
Yeah, I stayed down there because it was exciting. So whatever I could get.
Right. I mean, you weren't. Luckily, you weren't going to get killed. They weren't expecting Otis Redding. They were expecting James Gadson. You know.
Well, no, it wasn't even about me at that time. They didn't know nothing about me.
I know. I'm kidding. But the point is, you weren't having
the hotels were $5 a week.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And man, for 75 cents, man, I could eat a big meal. You know, that would carry. You know, sometimes I would eat maybe every 2 days or something. You know. But
Jesus.
You know, it was exciting to me because the music was there, and I got to see these people.
When you got hired, I mean, you basically, Blakey, those cats, you were tying your drums to the top of the car. I mean, you must have just been like, we're out of here, you know? I mean, it was not.
Well, they didn't tie the drums to the top of the car. They put the drums in the trunk and stuff.
So they had they had a little like hearse or something.
They might have put a trailer sometimes.
Trailer, that's what I meant. Yeah.
But they'd be doing 120 miles an hour. I mean, that was scary.
Jesus, I'm surprised the car didn't, the wheels didn't.
For me, because I'm young, I didn't smoke no weed. And so they called me the Cobra because every turn they'd make, I turned.
Oh, no, that's my favorite story. And in the 15 years I've been doing this, that's my favorite story in the world. Because your head was on a swivel, dude. Your head was flipping back and forth, dude. I mean, maybe the greatest story of all time.
Right.
Oh my God. So tell me about how do you feel like, tell me about the book. I mean, do you feel like it's there's so many chapters. We tend to
it's a lot of stories in there about, what we're talking about and different things,
You just feel like the time you got approached by the right people and the time is right to.
All praises to God Almighty. I got blessed when I come out here.
Yeah.
I mean, when I came out here, the guys that sent for me, I couldn't play their music. I couldn't play no R&B. I couldn't play no. I was straight ahead. I was.
Right, but they looked. It was like an athlete. It was like like a basketball player or a football player who's played in one type of system their whole life, but they have a lot of raw talent and they know that they can figure out how to play in another system.
Well, John Boudreaux got me the gig with Charles Wright. And Charles Wright was a session guitarist.
Right.
He played the Chinks. He was a left-handed guitar.
Right, right. Absolutely.
And that's how I started, I started to learn because I had to play. He said, man, just play time. Don't play quarter notes on the snare, quarter notes on the hi-hat, and quarter notes on the kick drum. Man, that was the hardest thing in the world for me to do. Don't play no fields because my fields wasn't no more.
It's one of the great. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the great.
When I got to Motown, I had to learn that Motown had a certain way that they wanted their fields. So I had to learn that, which was cool. It was all lessons. It was great. Experience. It was great. As I look back on it now, But by me playing those quarter notes, I was able to hear the R&B because I didn't know nothing. I thought that was. I said, man, they. You think you could play that. I thought I could play R&B, but I couldn't play it. I
get it, man. I mean, you were playing like Philly Joe and freaking, you were flying around the kit, and then he just wanted straight beats, man.
Right. So Sean said, man, just play time.
Right, play time.
Played time, and I didn't do for about 8 months. I didn't do no fields or nothing. He didn't want no 16 notes. He didn't want that. Just 4. And so I started to hear what was happening with the R&B stuff. Right. Because Motown, a lot of that stuff during that time, that was in the 60s, they were playing 4s. Chomp, a lot of times they played 4. Their foot pattern was maybe not 4, but a lot of times the snare was. And they had 2 drums. I didn't know that. But anyway, it took me a while, about 8 months, that I started to hear the different cadences and stuff. And so by me experimenting with the cadences and that's how they use me, and Kissing My Loves and Express Yourselves and all those different beats came up because they were different than what they were playing out there. And so by my jazz influence, I think it came like that. It came from that.
Did I have to ask you this because I put up a clip the other day online video, and we just lost him. And I was wondering, I think you must have played the Watt Stax Festival with Charles Wright. Did you ever? We just lost Jesse Jackson. I just kind of wanted you to talk about. I was listening to his speech at that Watt Stax Festival where Isaac Hayes played and the Bar-Kays and all these.
Well, Jesse Jackson, New York, when I was playing with Bill Withers at the where were we at?
Carnegie Hall.
It was at Carnegie Hall or the Apollo. I can't remember. And he came in while we were doing a gig, and he was, I am somebody.
I am somebody.
That's what he was.
I freaking love that cat, man.
I want to hear you say it. I am somebody. So that's when I met him.
Wow. He was doing that on Sesame Street too, like with the kids, man. It was always just about empowering people, man, to believe in themselves,
Right.
We're losing yeah.
And then, when we go to Chicago, I think he had Operation Breadbasket or Operation Push, one of those.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And, hey, Sundays we might play in church. You got a church, we might play at the church.
I want to be clear. Who's we? With Withers?
Yeah, with Withers.
You'd go to, when he was based out of Chicago, you might play in the church.
I think we did one Sunday. I think we played at church a couple of Sundays. One Sunday, yeah, one time, yeah. I think so, yeah.
You know, Gad, before I let you go, I just you talk a little bit about how you feel. We've been in touch quite a bit since really 2018 when we met in person. We've been talking about the time that we're in and sort of the vulnerability of the time and how God.
We talked about this.
I know, and so on my question, I haven't asked you what's your feeling right now, because I haven't talked to you about it in a few years.
Well, we're in the people are not happy. It, it's I don't know what's going. Well, I mean, I'm a Christian. We're living in our last days. We don't know what our last days will be, because Jesus will come like a thief in the night. But I mean, I don't see it. It's a shame to have to say this, but I don't see it getting any better.
Yeah, right. Right. People are angry. People are angry, but I mean,
they're angry, and they should be. We should be, man. I mean,
no, but Gad, hold on for a second, Gad. People are mad because a large percentage of our population has a completely different set of facts and reality than what is real. They believe lies. We've been told hundreds of thousands of lies for 10 years. And people believe the lies now, so we can't agree on a common set of facts, and people are angry. Not that because, and the biggest problem is that they don't even know they've been duped. But when you were,
they know now, because I mean, people are what I said, the world gets weaker and wiser.
Right.
They know now because
wow.
They have studied these things that have happened in the past. That's why most of the country, when they when the situation came up where they had Obama and his wife in the gorilla suits.
Oh my God!
Well, most of the country was down on that. 10 or 15, 20 years ago, people wouldn't have been down on it like they were. I mean, they were very down on that. The people, that was all. I mean, that wasn't cool, but I mean, the people didn't, they wouldn't have, it wouldn't have been that much negativity.
You think it was? Yeah,
people thought that was awful, which it was.
It's a disgrace. It's a freaking disgrace, man.
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful, and then just like the people in when we got this situation, these police actions that they got up in, that stuff in Minneapolis.
Oh my God, that's not even police. That's.
Yeah, well, they call it. I don't know. Well, that's what they call them.
Well, no, they call it ICE. But what I'm saying is that's like straight out of KKK. That's a secret service for white power.
Right, but if they hadn't, they killed 2 white people. Hey, man, if it had been 2 black people, it wouldn't have been that much. And then again, I can't say that because that boy that
George Floyd, yeah.
But I mean, the people are behind. That's really started an uprising, and the people are starting to. In a way, it's bringing people together.
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
It's sort of awakening a sleeping giant a little bit.
Right, which is a good thing, So.
What do you mean Jesus will come like a thief in the night?
Well, that's what the Bible says. When we less expect him to come.
Right.
When we less expecting him to come, he's going to come. He's
right.
coming back. Ain't no doubt about that. He's coming back. All praises to God Almighty.
Oh, man.
It's going. I wish you could. We all wish it would get better.
I know. I'm with you. I think it's gonna. I think we're in this darkness. Is Phil? Oh, Phil Upchurch. Did you ever play with him?
Yeah, I got to play with Phil.
Rest in peace. He just left us.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Oh my God, man, he was a maniac too in Chicago, man. He'd invite all Cleveland Eaton and all those guys over to his house, Cash McCall, and he
I got to work with Cash McCall.
Phil would invite him over, and then he'd pick out some rats from the alleyway and feed them to his snake and have the guys watch him eat it.
Right. Wow.
No, man. I mean, here's this freaking snake, eating a huge rat, and Phil was just cracking up. He thought it was the greatest, but it was really magical, man. I mean, they'd go in and the singers would work on. This is in Chicago, chess records, and it was just real work, man. And these guys were making real bread, and and it was a beautiful thing. I think that as we wrap up, I mean, it's just, just from
they say Phil had a song, "You Can't Sit Down."
Right.
That was a big hit for him, and they say he didn't want to work it because he was a jazz musician.
Right.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
I just think that the amount of music that was made by human beings together for hours at a time was the most beautiful thing, and that just doesn't exist today because there's just we've just lost that ability to connect with humanity. Just from the musical point of view, you got people cutting and pasting parts, or the overdubbing's out of control. I mean, you guys were just cooking the groove, very minimal overdubbing, and it was just about chemistry and people were getting paid and getting ahead, and just. You look at that as a snapshot for the rest of society, and people are just, I mean, it's, you live in L.A., man. People are literally dying out there.
Right. My God, my power's off. It's a good thing that that I got this cell phone.
Your power's off?
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. Hello, this is Spectrum. Our crews are working to fix the disruption. I was wondering why.
Yeah, that's got to work right there, man.
We're having a great conversation, and I didn't pay any attention to the TV, or
Right. All of a sudden, you realize the power's out, man.
Yeah, I can feel a little. It's cold.
Oh man! All right, well, can you connect me with Washington Rucker?
I can find it. I'll get his number. Yeah.
I'll ring you up next couple of days. If you can find his number, I'd love to talk to that cat.
Okay, I'll get hooked to him.
All right, get some blankets on, dude. You don't know when.
He's a great. He has books out. He has some. He's a man.
Dude, he is a bad man. All right, he's a great great drummer.
Yeah, he's a great drummer, and he's a great writer. He has some books out.
Now, I want to do some deep dive on him, but Gad, I want you to get some blankets on, man. You don't know when that power's coming back on, dude.
You're right about that.
Get some blankets. Yeah.
It's cool. It's in the 50s.
Oh, man. I'm in Tucson, too, man. No, this is the coldest day of the year in Tucson. It's cold, man. It's in the 50s, man.
Yeah.
It's cold, man. Anyway, Gad, man, God bless you. I'll call you this weekend to get Washington's number.
All right. God bless you, because he's a blessing God.
Yeah, man. Bless you, brother. Be cool, man.
All right.
Talk to you soon, Gad.
All right.
Later, dude.
Bye-bye.
Bye.